Hey, welcome aboard, everyone. Welcome to a new beginning. Like I mentioned in the video before I made of this one, I'm going to revisit the game as a new robot uh, with all the changes that they've made up to this point. So, uh, Thanks for tuning in, and I welcome you to follow the journey. So, let's go. I'll explain a few things as I go along the way for any new people. When you're in a room with the door closed and obviously no power, and you know that by the lights are, I guess, a reddish color. I'm colorblind, so I don't know if that's a reddish color or what color that is, but they don't look like a normal light. A normal light will be, I guess, white. So this tells you that you have no power. So you're like, how do you open the door? Well, when you see a handle like this, you see the cursor or my aiming reticle in the middle there, the circle, it turns into this weird looking icon. That means you can grab that handle and open the door. So you click and hold the left mouse button to grab the door, and then you look to the left to open the door, or to the right, or up, or down, depending on the door. So when we walk out of here, we're going to get a quest.
It's dark and quiet now, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Reconnect the power. Bring this place back to life.
Okay, so from darkness and light, we need to find power so that we can open that door, because as you see, those there and that lightning bolt, electric symbol, it needs to be green. I know that. So whatever color this is means there's no power. Walk up, I can't open the door. So here's a full battery. We need to get a cable to go from there to our switch box. So we look around to see where we got cable. So we get a light already. It's number 6. So what I do is we go into your tool window by clicking the T. Wait a minute. Yeah, and then add to action bar 4. Yeah. Nope, that ain't it. So I got a hot bar on my, or a button on my mouse that I've got tied to automatically turn that light on. I gotta figure out how I did it. I think it's where my wrench is. Yeah, right there. So that's okay. So action bar 1. Yep. Hold on. Maybe we can clear these. Action bar 1. Okay. Now I need to put my wrench back out there. We'll put it in 2 for right now. So there, I can turn my light on automatically. When you see boxes like this, it's going to already have resources in them, like plastic, copper, iron. So you want to collect those as you go, because when we get to where our boat is, we're going to need resources to repair the control box right here. So you want to make sure and collect this stuff. Shoot. So to do that, you just get near it like I just did, and then you press and hold E, and then you'll mass collect all the resources in the area in front of you. So here we open this door, like I showed you. We go in here. Okay, turn your light on. Okay, we got a battery, and we got some cable. So to collect things, like this thing here I can collect, you can either press E, like that, and you'll collect it. Or to collect these, there's 2 of them. If I want to collect them both at the same time, I get near them, press and hold E, and then I collect both of them. Alright, let's get power. Okay, so see how the connector ports, they're not glowing. See, now when I get near them, see the outside of them glows. When you see that, that means you can connect a cable if you have one on you. And then to do so, down at the bottom it says press E. So now I collect it. Now I'm holding the cable, and then I can walk it over here to the control box and do the same thing. Mouse over till you see the ring show up, press E, and it connects. And then you want to make sure, I mean, it doesn't matter most of the time, but you want to make sure the power is going into the box, and then you turn the switch on.
Good work, Caretaker. Every restored connection brings us closer to reclaiming our home. We've lingered here long enough, Caretaker. Head to the docking hangar. There's something important there, waiting to show us our path.
Okay, so we picked up our second quest. Where waters wait. So we're pretty much done here. There's nothing more to do here. I mean, there is some spare batteries up there that we want to collect. So to get up there, you come over here, climb on this box, and then jump up on this, and then what in the world? Oh, great! I'm caught. What in the hell? Okay, well this is new. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Well, this is one of the problems with a game that's still in early access, is you get caught in weird places. And I can't even crouch. I can't jump. I can turn and I can run, and that's it. So, I'm gonna see if I can log out of the game to fix this. Alright, it took me back to the last saved point. So there are autosaves that happen in the game. So, let's see. Okay, so I have to recollect the hose, or the cable. So let's go back in this room. So again, to mass collect all this, get up close to it, press and hold E and you'll collect it all. Just like that. Okay, let's go get power so we got light.
Good work, Caretaker. Every restored connection brings us closer to reclaiming our home. We've lingered here long enough, Caretaker. Head to the docking hangar. There's something important there, waiting to show us our path.
Okay, so we're back to this point. So real quick, I want to bring up something. So right now, the only way we have to save the game is the autosaves. As you get to your boat and you get further on, there are consoles on the wall that usually have a healing station and a backup station. I highly suggest that anytime you do something little for an objective anywhere, when you get back to those stations, is automatically back up the station, or I mean back up your game, so that you don't lose any progress, like what just happened when I got stuck here. Let's see if we can do this again without getting stuck. Alright, we did it. So then we want to jump across, grab this piece of metal and throw it down so we can scrap it later. And then we got a bunch of batteries. One fell down. Mass collect, press and hold E. And I got all the batteries. Then jump back down, collect the one that fell down. Okay, so we're pretty much done here. This room here doesn't really have much. Just some scrap. I'm going to talk about that bed here for a second. It's really important. So when you scrap this bed out, there's 4 of them here in your sanctuary dock. They give you a high-tech scrap. That high-tech scrap is very important. It's one of very few ways of collecting titanium and carbon fiber. So you have 4 beds, so that'll give you the chance of getting 4 titanium, which you will need 5 titanium when you get to like your second or third objective. There's a machine you'll need to repair that you use to grow humans. Well, it takes 5 titanium and 5 carbon fiber. And this is one easy way of getting it, is dismantling beds that look just like this, because they give high-tech scrap. Now there are robots at the station called the Lazarus station that look like your robot. When you see robots that look like this, they will almost always give you high-tech scrap when you dismantle them. So when you see these, always dismantle them when you get, well, to get the high-tech scrap, because it's a rare resource in the game. So when you see cardboard boxes like this, they automatically have the resources in there, like copper, plastic, so on and so forth. your more common resources. So to mass collect these 3 boxes, just get up close to them, press and hold E, and then you collect them. And it looks like we got a plastic and iron and 5 other items. So this is what we've got so far: iron, plastic, rubber, copper, and glass. And we have 1 cable and we have a couple pieces of scrap. So we can put that in a dismantler and it'll turn it into one of these. So it's plastic scrap, so it'll more likely turn into plastic. Alright, so like I showed you earlier, we can collect this and then collect these. Okay, and so we're pretty much done here. So let's go and find our boat like it's telling us to. It says make your way to the dock hangar. So as you can see, we turn the power on. These lights all turn green. And as you see, those lights, they're glowing like a normal light. So that when you see that, you have power, but when you see this, there's no power. Okay, so let's open the door. You just walk up to it, press E to open it. There we go. So this doesn't, okay, let me rephrase that. When you see these lights, it doesn't always mean there's no power. It means that maybe you need to turn a switch on, which is the case here. And here's the switch. So you turn the switch on, and it turns the lights on. However, this is your only power source down here, and the more lights you turn on, the faster that drains. So if you don't need the light, don't turn them on. Remember, you always got your light too. It takes power, but not as fast as you know, the bigger lights. It takes power from a bear. So when you come into this room, there's some more cable here you want to grab. There's some pigment paint. You can go ahead and pick that up if you want. Here's another battery. And here's this room I was talking about. Okay, so here's one of these doors. I call it a bi door. So you see it's got electric to it. So you can walk up, press E like this, and the door will open. Or it's got a handle that you can also grab and open manually if you want. Okay, we come in here, and here's some more batteries we'll collect. Okay, this is those stations I was talking about. They don't all always look like this, but you will always see in some variation a healing station, which will heal ourselves up, and a backup station to back up your game. Okay, so then to connect the game cord, press E to grab the cord, hold E to connect it to you. Okay, and it's going to ask you to back up, and then you just pick a slot. So we'll do backup slot 5, then hit yes. And the game's backed up. So now if anything happens to me from this point forward to where I die or have to restart the game, it'll take me back to this very point here. So everything I've done before, I won't have to redo. Okay, so let's turn this light on in here so we can see. Okay, so we need to get through that door. So we have to move all this stuff. And it's not going to be easy because we don't have a lot of power. We get to some of these bigger boxes. So these here, because they're big, the only way to move them is to drag them. Okay, that's all you really need to get in here. Okay, so now we get into this room. We have a few things in here. We have another light. I'm gonna go turn this light off.
Shutdown are expected. Power on.
Turn this light on and see what all's in here. Okay, we got a lot of stuff we can dismantle later on. We got another battery here. You want to always collect all the batteries, because when you're early on in a game like this, when your electricity gets low, you can use a battery to gain electricity. Because when your electricity runs to 0, when you do something that requires electricity, it takes your health away. So if you're not paying attention and you drain your electricity and you keep doing whatever you're doing that drains your electricity, you're going to start draining your health, and before you know it, you're going to kill yourself, and then you got to restart the session over. Alright, so we need to go up. So we need to call the elevator down. So anytime you come up to an elevator and it's not here, like this one is, there's always going to be a button for you to call it. So just press the button and it'll come down. Now in this situation, that battery that we got initial power from powers this elevator. So you want to use it as minimal as possible. So what I did on my main character is I dismantled what I could all the way over there in that room, and I took everything from this room and this room, and I put it on this platform, and I took it up to the top, and I'll show you why when we get up there. Okay, so let's go up and find our boat. Turn that light off. Okay, let's turn this light on. Here's some more batteries we can collect. Okay, now we've run into our first obstacle. So we have to destroy that, because as you can see how the doors, it looks like it's molded. That's because this thing is touching it. So because this thing is touching it, that door will not work. It's a manual door, but we still won't be able to open it because of this dude here. So C, because we don't have any weapons, is your melee. And you somehow magically grab a crowbar and you start swinging. So that's how we need to destroy this thing. So you get up close to it, and that blue thing on the top is the head of this thing. It's got little mobs in it. So when you break it, the mobs are going to come out, and then you need to destroy them. Okay, now it's important that you come back here and finish this, because if you leave it sit long enough, it will regenerate, and you'll have to do it again. See, just like that there. I waited a little bit longer than I should have. Now I gotta kill these things again. Okay, so now it's gone, and it won't regenerate. Grab this new battery here. Okay, now we can open the door. Okay, come through here, move this dude. Looks like he's had a bad day. Open this door, and voila, there's our boat.
There she is. Your vessel. More than just metal and circuits. It's your freedom. This boat is how you'll reclaim the seas, and perhaps even your identity. The dock systems are offline. Without them, we're trapped here. Restore the power, Caretaker, so we can sail again.
Alright, so there's our boat. This is our dock. That's the door to get out of here once we get it to open. This thing here, this boat, this is the coolest part of this game, is this boat. It is so awesome, and it's somewhat well thought out. It's a hybrid, which is cool. It's got a diesel engine and electric engine, so if you're out and you run out of fuel, you can still get around with this boat with the electric engine, which is a beautiful concept of how they designed this boat. So let's work on our new quest, Light the Way Home. So the dock outlet, that's what that little box is right there. We need to get up there and find out what we need to do. So along the way, you want to collect stuff. So here's some scrap and a cable. We don't really need that yet. Here's some more scrap. You want to look in nooks and crannies, because there's always going to be scrap everywhere. Like this. You want to grab it. There should be another cable here. Yep. Grab it. Okay, here's another box with resources. Hey, what's wrong with you, boy? Alright, now we need to be careful here because it's broke open, so we need to jump. Alright. So we have a cool room here that's got a fabricator and a dismantler. We just need to power it. There's a battery here. So we need to see if we can get in there and see what kind of power's in that battery. Some more junk. Let's get a better look of our incredible vessel. That is so cool. You got a water pump on the back. Got a net there. We can collect scrap as we travel. That's one of the anchors. There's another one in the front. This thing is just so cool. Alright, let's head up top. We got a door here. It's a buy door. Electric or manual. We have no power, so we have to open it manually. Okay, here's the door to that room. But we need electricity. Okay, more scrap. More scrap. Okay, secret tunnel. Not really secret, but okay, let's head upstairs, see what's going on. More scrap. Alright, well, there's our panel we need to get to, but we can't open the door, we don't have any power. So we have this that I think should lead us in there, so we need to remove this cover that looks like it's broken. Climb up in here and see if it leads us into that room. There's another battery. Cool, it does. Alright, so we're in the room. Looks like we got some batteries here. It's got somewhat charged. Let's connect the cables to them. Let's direct the flow out of the battery to this thing. Okay, we got some more cables here, some junk, more resources. There was some resources. There's a battery. Well, that reached level 2. So you now have new skills and enhancer points. Okay, we'll look at those here in a minute. More scrap. Battery hoses. Alright. Oh, it looks like it's damaged. So we need to repair it. They give us a repair tool. It's on the hotbar 6. So I'll pull it out and see what we need. So when you need to repair something, when you grab your repair tool like this, when you mouse over the item, it'll tell you what you need. It tells you everything that you need. Its electricity cost is 25 watts per hour. It'll take 5 seconds to repair it. The current durability of the item is 0%, and you need 4 iron, and we have 8, so I can repair this item. So to repair it, it tells you down at the bottom, on the far right there, it says hold, or it says to press the left mouse button to repair. You have to press and hold. Because if I just press it, it does this. So you got to press and hold. Okay, now it's repaired. So we can press Q to put our tool away. Okay, and now we grab, or we connect the cable to the extender here, and then run the cable over, connect it, make sure the flow is going in, and then turn on power.
The dock is alive again, thanks to you. Each step forward reconnects us to a brighter future. Caretaker, you were never meant to remain bound. These waters were once pathways, carrying life, purpose, and discovery. Something awaits you out there, ready to be reclaimed.
Alright, so we completed that quest and we just received 2 new ones. One is to prepare our vessel for sailing, and then the other is to create iron, plastic, and rubber, 10 of each. So let's get our vessel ready to sail. See what we need. Open the door. Let's this is probably from upstairs. Yeah, a power supply on the roof, which we'll go check out here shortly. Let's go see what our boat needs. Alright. More junk. Hey. That dude's definitely seen better days. Alright, so we have a battery down here too that's mostly fully charged. And if we look at our quest objective, we do need to power up the boat. It's currently 0 charge, and you can tell because the lights are not white. They're whatever color that is, reddish color. So let's connect one of these cables. Pick up these other cables. Grab this end. And we have a power outlet right here. So you plug that in. And here's where it's kind of important. You want to make sure the power is going a specific direction. When it's... I'm going to unhook it real quick. So... oh. We have a telephone.
Dad? No, sorry. I'm sorry. If someone answers, don't. I just wanted to say I made it. That's all. I made it.
All right. Okay, that was all right. So back to this. So these cables, you can do them a couple ways. So when you connect them, you get those arrows. The arrows indicate direction of flow. So when you have it set up like that, did you see which way the current was initially flowing? It went back to the battery. So when your connectors look like this, it's equalizing out whatever the cables are connected to. In this case, it's electricity. So it's equaling out the power. So the power on my boat is 2.7 kilowatts. So we go up to this battery, and it's also 2.7 kilowatts. So it equaled out the power between the battery on my boat and this battery here. We don't want that in this situation. We want all of this power to go into the boat. So you want to change the flow of the current by changing the icons on this by pressing the F key. See, now the power from my boat is flowing into this battery. You see it rising. We want it to go to the boat. So you press F again, and now it's flowing to the boat. So when all this power is drained, it'll charge the boat up. And as you can see on our quest objective, we've met the requirements of powering our boat, which we only needed to do a 3 kilowatt charge, and we just put in 5.3 kilowatts. All right, so we'll leave that connected because eventually I'm going to run power from whatever's on the roof down here to charge this battery and to charge the batteries up there so that I have full power to do whatever I need to do here on the dock. Okay, so we got the power done. So now what else we need to do? We need to refuel the boat. Okay, we have a diesel tank right there that is 2,000 liters, and if you mouse over any of these ports, it'll tell you what your boat's current status is. So our battery is a 6 kilowatt, and we have 5.4 kilowatts right now. So when we mouse over the diesel port, we have a 2,000 liter tank, but we have nothing. Well, this tank is 2,000 liters full, so grab these hoses, and then grab the end of this hose, and then jump on your boat and connect the cord or cable. Okay, and then same thing here. If we leave that connector looking like this with the O's and the dashes, it will equal out the level. So it will pump 1,000 liters in here, but leave 1,000 liters in that tank, which that's all we need to satisfy the quest, is pump 1,000 liters of fuel onto our boat. But we want all of that fuel, so you come over here to the connector. You can either do it at this one or the one there, it doesn't matter, just one of them. Press the F key until the arrows go into the boat, like that. And now it'll take all 2,000 liters from that tank and put it in the 2,000 liter tank on our boat. My boat. Well, our boat. We're in this together. It's a journey that we're doing together. Okay, so now that we're fueling the boat, what else we need? Repair the boat's diesel engine. Optional. Let's go check it out. Yep, I'd say she needs repaired. Wow, I've seen a, for not moving, like, damn, seen a hard life. Hey, we got some stuff here. We'll collect it. Okay, so the cool thing about this boat is it's a hybrid. We got a diesel engine, 5-cylinder, and a 5-cylinder electric engine. This one's already got an electric cylinder on it. This one's got one laying beside it, but we need to repair it before we can put that on there. So let's pull out our repair tool and see what we need. Okay, so it takes 50 watts of power, but I only have 19, so I need to go get some power. And it also says it takes 10 seconds. It takes 6 iron, which we have, and 3 plastic, which we have. First, I need to go power, but I want to show you something. So because I don't have the power to restore this, watch what it does. It'll drain my power, and it'll take health from me when I repair this. So Pay attention to those bars at the bottom. Alright, see what it did? So I have no battery power, and it took a very large chunk of my health to finish the repair of that engine. So we'll put the tool away, press Q. Okay, so while we're here, I'll go ahead and install this cylinder. And all you do is you pick it up, and then just you get close. So you pick it up like this, hold the left mouse button, and then you can move it anywhere, and then walk close to the engine, line up with that cylinder, or that port, and then release the cylinder, and then it'll automatically line up and then connect itself. And that part's done. Okay, now before we do anything else, I need to go charge myself. Okay, that battery's dead. So let's go see what we got upstairs. Okay, so we have enough. So I only need 500 watts, and this thing is a 6 kilowatt battery. So you want to make sure you have at least one cable on you, or you won't be able to do this. So you connect by hovering over the port, press E. Okay, now to connect it to you, you press and hold E, and then it'll connect it to you, and then automatically start to charge. And then in this situation, you press F to make sure that the power is going into you fully, because it will also do the same thing. That if there's not enough power in the battery to give you a full charge, say there was only 300 watts of charge in that battery and I need 500, if I didn't change the power or the cable to direct all the power into me, it would equal out the power between me and the battery. Well, you want all the power because you want to have full power, so you want to make sure that the arrows are facing into you to get full charge. Okay, now to release the cable, press E, and now you're holding it. Now to collect the cable, press and hold the Q, and then now you've collected the cable. Alright, so we're full power. Now let's go over here into this room, open the door, and let's heal ourselves. So we got some more resource. Okay, so again, anytime you need to grab a cable, you walk up to it, press E, and then hold E to connect it to yourself, and then it'll automatically start healing you. And then press E to disconnect, and it'll automatically retract the cable. Okay, now at this point, let's save the game again. Back up, spot 5, yes. Okay, now everything before has been saved. So now our boat is completely ready to sail based off the quest. We've met all the criteria for the quest, so now all we need to do is open the door and then we're ready to sail out. So I want to make sure we have enough power for that. So then when you come into certain objectives and buildings, you'll come into where there's a ladder, but it doesn't go all the way down. It should have one of these things near it. So you can activate this in two ways. Walk up to it like this, press E, or if you're down there and can't get up here, or can't figure out how to get up here, to activate the ladder, if you have a weapon like a gun or the pistol or the rifle, you can shoot at that and it'll activate it, and then the ladder will come down. So we don't have a gun unlocked yet, so we will use our hand. Press E to activate that down. So let's see. Let's go on the roof and see what kind of powers we have up there and what kind of repair needs to be done, so we can get our batteries charged more. Let's collect all this junk. There's some paint. Oh crap. Let's drop all these. Oh, I don't have that yet. Hold on. Let me collect these again. I got ahead of myself. Let's open the door. Let's go check, see what we got for power. Alright, so we got solar panels and wind turbines. Alright, so I'm going to talk about the benefits and the cons of both. Whoops, we got some mobs we need to get rid of. Remember, C is your melee. not the easiest thing to light up and do. Alright, so with these, the only pro to having solar panels is they don't need to be repaired. However, the biggest con or disadvantage to these is they only make power in the daytime. That's it. So I guess it's a trade-off. Do you want zero maintenance but limited power, or do you want, I don't really want to say high maintenance, or do you want maintenance but full-time power all the time, whether it's daytime or nighttime? I prefer this. As long as you keep up on the repairs on them, the resource requirement is really always low. Like usually, sometimes it may only take one iron bar or one plastic bar or one copper bar. Sometimes it might take one of a combination of those. As long as you keep up on the repair so that it doesn't like drain your resources. But as you progress through the game, if you do a lot of dismantling, you're going to have enough resources that it's not even going to bother you at all to repair these constantly. But I prefer these for the constant 24-hour power as opposed to those. Plus, these, let me say it this way, these are not only limited by day-night, but they're also limited if they're blocked. So right now, where the light is, or the sun, none of these are blocked. But as that sun drops down this way, and these turn with the sun, this one is going to block this one. And when the sun is over that way, this one is going to block that one. Well, when they're blocked, it reduces the amount of power output that these things put out. Hey, alright, I climbed up on here. So like right now, my shadow is blocking part of the panels. That means that instead of this producing 100% power, it's only going to produce maybe, say, 80% power because part of the panels are blocked. That is something else to think of and to keep in mind if you decide to go with these on your boat. To have sustainable power on your boat is to make sure that none of them get blocked by anything, or as minimal as possible. Because like I said, the more that those panels get blocked, the less power they produce. Alright, so let's go get rid of these thingamajobbers. Hey. Alright, so like I said, you want to make sure and kill these fully. Because if you don't, I'll show you with this one what exactly happens. I'm going to back away from it so I can kill these little buggers. Maybe. Really? Alright, so now watch. Give this a couple of seconds. Oh, look at that, it respawned. So now you got to do it all over again. So let's go up here, let's kill it, and we'll smack it while we're standing there a couple times after we kill these. Now we'll go up here and we'll beat it until it disappears from there. So now we can look and see what we need to repair these if they need it, which that one looks like it needs a lot of repair. It's on fire. So we pull out our wrench and see. Okay, so we need 4 items: plastic, iron, copper, fabric. I need more plastic for this one, but 75%, this one will still generate power. This one needs more, less durability, so it won't produce any power. This one's even worse. Okay, so we need to go dismantle some stuff to collect the resources we need to repair this. And this is one of those things I talked about in my other video about the different ways of playing the game. When you get to certain objectives, you're going to need power. And if you don't have any small batteries, which I'll show you what those are. It's not the ones that I've been collecting, not the ones, you know, in my hotbar down here in the bottom left. Those are for me or for your robot. There's a small battery that you can use to connect to control panels to get power to objectives, but if you don't have any of those, then you need to repair these. So this is the importance that I was talking about in my other video of how to play the game, the different ways that you need to do some dismantling along the way so you have the resources to repair these so that you can get power where you need it when you need it. So let's go do some dismantling. But in the meantime, we have this one here, which I think, yeah, it's 80%. So as you can see, whoops, it's generating some power, and so it's charging our battery downstairs. Nocturne, nematode. Okay, that's what those things are called. So we have a little bit of biomass here. I'll get into that later. Maybe another video. Let's continue getting some items so that we can repair the our power supply. So we want to have, you don't really need to do this. This is what I'm doing here is optional because, like I said, the boat's ready to sail. All we need to do is open that door, hop at the helm, and then take off, and then, you know, start the next quest line, you know, to advance forward and progress through the game. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and end this video at this point. That basically showed how to get to, you know, the dock, how to repair this and get power down, get the ship ready to sail per your quest. And then in the next video, I'll talk about, you know, dismantling, you know, the importance, what to dismantle, and we'll go from there. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.